public. Whole English nation rise up. Hail the Queen all over for the whole wide world to see. Queen of the Ashanti Empire, who seated upon her throne, left hand side, Nana Otumfuo say Tutu, in a Dementia Palace in Kumasi, is also one of the greatest queens all over the whole wide world. Ashanti man, respect them queen. Anytime she appears in a public, whole Ashanti nation rise up. Hail them queen, say yeah. Nano himebo, nano himebo, nano himabe. Queen of Sheba, the Queen of Sheba, who traveled all the way from down south Ethiopia and subdued the wisdom of King Solomon of old, was also one of the greatest queens ever since from creation. No doubt about it. Bible records a history. Her name lives on and on and on and on and on. Queen of Sheba, all them queendom never surpasses the queendom of the Queen of Queens, Queen of the angels, Queen of the martyrs, the Queen of heaven, Queen of paradise. I'm talking about the Virgin of Virgins, Mary, the Holy Immaculate Mother of God, Star of the Sea, yeah, who was in union with the Trinity from creation. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord's with thee. Blessed thou amongst women, blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and the hour of our death. Oh Mary, I come Mary, I come yeah, soul man, what really don't cry, is he? Hey Mary, full of grace, the Lord's with thee. Blessed thou amongst women, blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and the hour of our death. Oh Mary, I come, yes, soul man. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord's with thee.
Yo, Adashima, Yasamamu, Adu Emamu, Apapa, Edeba, Nokware Mmre, Jumedies. What when you say Jumedie, Edebro, Yawadeni, Yawadebia, non Sia Copamochi. Omo Masaya say Edi Jumedie, Ebro, Inner Word of God Construction Company. Jumedie Betmashing, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram pages, Nisso. More Amanone, which are Eastern European countries, Nisso. Monsa Ebetimia Kayo Motet Satellite, Nisso. And I said, your podcast so Anchor FM. Obano now will share na apopron so and sa ekebi. Now I send o comments on so amai. And you may or more many or more ever better check and for more. Ura Benes Konedu Yado, NDC Communication Team Member, South Africa. And Ura said MacArthur, or also your NPP Communication Team Member, Germany. Ura Konedu Bacho. Orakonedu.
Nyamiadum, me hoarding pan, also hoarding.
Nyamiadum, Miss some hoarding pan. Na, and you made
you made him nearby, Nyamiadum, Bibiaboko, natural car property, a dear more idea. I am the last weekend, even here. ba me monitor anya adwan atwa corporate channel say that's the man Nyankopon na NDC mo so me da rema ya enoma de year bibi akoso to kama na mefa kwanya iso na particularly mabo yura okujeta blakwa honorable member of parliament for Northtown me bona baso ewo na dwuma pa wadin na otwi mu se otimi fa wiemhyen kopie mu wo Romania oko try say oni Ghana for omanya togo onsem because of their course of Ukraine ono mbedin komo no wa comfort o no ade a obi e bona baso yesam sim bona baso because why ade se uni akontu mu ade why no onti ase so da bi na BBC na wo akontu mu a na nka wo hwese opani bi ebeka asim bi na nka akomforto na to the extent say one social media and tweet keke wa for play na wako Romania na ko share Ghana for no Ghanaian students are omoni nyeto atogo nsam no e kire say oyobi a onye enye ne picture so nkwa na odwene Ghana for nyina ho na asemba ko a wasare tu dwakra ne say eye Romania ene Bulgaria omo aban ne na dins awoso say Ghanaian students am ko school Ukraine basa eni ntino omodisiona akachiri akra no ombeje omo those countries na oma toaso na oma komu oma wi school no ho yade asenka wa paple na nkodu sa oma no a minister zanka sade obi pinti mefa kwanya so na machia honorable kujeza black na mabona baso ne dwuma dia wadin na otwi mu na makoso de anchiama yura Samuel ofuso ampofo ne party leadership ne nyina se na atwi mu omudo mani chair Asante region na omne ya Asante for any anasa Asante region for kasaye church party ni so de hunu any membership registration ya sase no church mu kire wo mekoso na ma chair wo nyina ya flag bearer His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mefa kwanya so na ma chair no menu aba na ma chair ya hwefo na etie for mo hwe free Europe free Asia, America, any South Africa, so no, any Ghana, mefa so, mefa kwenya so na machia me da asemi nuaba.
Yo, ora kundedu meso medasi. Ora se makata pacha owosa osuchia adofo na maye ne ekoso mu akachi na ekwi. Akwaba.
Me nuaba jifa. Mejo so. Minim se nyame adom ho ye pa because the way I see your face, you are always shining, and I think baby o share Ghana to krum hono. The dachi bia me ba be piem Ghana bia we say me bom odin na me ba hwehwe. Na won so o kire me aduane kura wudie da ne da ema ho etimi ye fe sa. Me da si bebre me nua ba jifa so wa ma me akwanya enanwumre. Na NPP mu de eni kasem eye adwumaden na yegusu a yebo se eye ikuo yebo modern se yebehwe se niema betimi akoyie ede ama eye omamfo a anase Ghana man a yensoso omode tumi a hye yensa se yenhwe na yemmomodin endi dwuma emfama
Yo, ye trying ora se makata no na ye bo adofon ka ye se mo baso no na mo share na afoforo so ensa akib na mo comment no so ya ma mo refi se obema ye comment na ya kenkan amamo ejumedie omo masa ya se ede bremo Inner Word of God Construction Company Limited se wo amanone na opese wusi wodan na onhu ne obefre na wama online ayetiatia ewo Inner Word of God Construction Company bo no omo abo ehunhia se owo diska ebe mane na obi akwakodie mi amidi jumedie social me midin ede Antonia Jifa Ifa ye betwa ye ho ne age wa forecast wo aba ye ba ye di ye jumedie no era beto aso.
Yo abusiafo mo som funa na afia ko bi se wan peme na me kase mesi munyimo sum na montamaso na montie makopi inner word of God building construction company so annual inner word of God building construction company so she yesi nyame adwuma na she na wo de akoso minua ebadan sie mu dia sumuda ne yabama e na wo pese yenyema building works obi obeye carpentry amount POP, metalworks, tiling, electricals, aluminium, fabrication, anal plumbing, bra, ni abesum we said you wisi penwo, said you wisi penny bia, ya beyama, ya titi yanko for ni when yamisrum, or munchi windio, no munya basabasanso. And now penny ama ube to me dear siwudine, to set building blocks, stones, sand, quarry dust, pavement blocks, and as a wood, branian somo, and when yamisuro, any yamisumu, share, and come a minian woman on it. So bets now, woman, you now discover mania busia for, see near Japadia mount. Now, Beba no way, and said you will see penwo. I am there, yabi. It's not Mr. Found who beppo a inner word of God building construction company. So I yet free inner word of God ministry international. I sorry, Upper Yem Raymer, Boy, and Yabotne Brem. Minua, nature say, and yen na there be near the nam, and yamisurum, and yamisuro quanso, and ya day baba sumu. Ubet men we are cra, and answer Ashalibuchi, and answer for a number way 0242 515735 0242 515735 and now say 0203 755 066 0203 755 066 Freye niya mesomo ewo no kware mu medawase.
Yo, you better show fast to say munya bread a chain ye a koje 14 crato. Orasa Macata, but your waba chiado fona yens was.
Medasi minu ejifa we dear me the chopa kese bema ye T4. I had a little technical problem and nyamiado metimi I resolve it quickly. Enti said ye na me kano ntiano medikan e dia ko e dia maye mam nini eye nana adodankwa ekufuado ene eye his vice on his excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and afin sunu mebo eye foreign affairs empanimfo nyina so maame ayokobochi ene ne empanimfo so mebo mabaso tumedia omodi eye Ukraine ene Russia situation a ekoso honum ekwan omafa so abomodin abogana for ho ban na empo ahwese ebinum betimi ayede ababedru fia sabri ebi etimi ababedru fia omguso omoye ntotoye se de beye a dodo a aka no enso so ebetimi ayede aba enti akese enko emfama eye ministry no eni omo partners ewo eye Europe a omo so hwedi sa dwumadie enso so ehonum afi nso nchia ebekodi ama eye Germany the party mpanimfo nititu eye me communications director Nana Boating baby bia wo bia na nwumre nchi akese en confirm afi so communication team members ni nyina mechia obi biara na nwumre I have a special greetings ediko ema me maame eye Mary ahinkan so wo ba eye Germany a ye pe oba kukodufo a obetimi aba befa eye women's organizer position na maami etunu asi ho se oba be di dwuma so no e de aboa ama NPP Germany branch enso so emajumedie mu no ya fa yentuma fa pra enti me maame Mary ahinkan sompa hima Kumasi market udi wani kire Germany hadia oka Kumasi marketer babia ne hu ehwa etufa babia enti maame Mary ahinkan enanwumre enti akese pa enko emfama na ye bo nyame mpa ye se odi nkunimdie franka no so bekura na eye after May eye 2022 year you know going into the future no also baba so women's organizer jumedie no na wadi enso so ama bibia so etimi akọ tɔtee afei nso mɛkyia me nua kunadu na me nua kunadu deɛ ɛm sɛ ɔhyɛ aseɛ na ɔde propaganda na hyɛ aseɛ kyɛ sɛ ɔmkyɛn hwee koraa na ɔde propaganda hyɛ aseɛ okugya to kɔɔ Romania na problem na ɛwɔ Romania ɛna problem na ɛwɔ adɛn na wankɔ Ukraine na ɔnenam Romania okugya to pɛ sɛ ɔsolve problem sɛdeɛ me nua kunadu pɛ sɛ ɔkama me tie yi a Ukraine wɔ hɔ adɛn na wankɔ Ukraine
o sɛ ansha ye omo efi Ukraine nti no nim sɛ maybe ɔkɔ Ukraine na ɔnkɔ to Ghana ni bia wɔ
me nua ba saa populist kind of show we na ya na okugya to pɛ sɛ wɔyɛ no yes who ambitions who pɛ sɛ daakye bia no NDC for nya omugidie no ma akwanya na ye bibi but sometimes eniema bi wɔ hɔ no mu a nipa oh yeah I am not discrediting say oye Ghana ni and if BBC aba na opese okọ na okọ boa fair enough but enka menua kunadu kasa no I believe say enka okaye no oka okugyeto die no ena oka government dwumadia government edi abọ Ghana for ho ban a ka I wouldn't even utter a word but you are singling out an individual. You are all single okujeto for praise, leaving the government or put resources together to make sure say individuals are or more problems move at this time. Why do we do this to ourselves? I didn't think
you where's the Makata? You ever would be
Mr.
address it as me am I first topic. Yes, share yes, NDC for a press conference. Now, omo petition Commonwealth Secretariat say amemo a ekosui amamo boni. And you say so ye tia amanfo fa hodie so. Na we na Attorney General amaya so atese etia Ghana ye tumi a ekura ye ebu tumi nenim tia ye ene ye busa se sana ete anase NDC for asemi omuka omudika answer be fa ye first panelist no ye be share video omo ye press conference no ye be bo video ne kakra na ya to aso.
To you all, I want to thank you for your prompt response to this, our invitation for the press, for this very important press briefing. As has been indicated by my director of the National Communications Officer, today we are departing from a prepared script because of the nature of our conversation. We have sent a letter to the Commonwealth Secretariat complaining about certain issues bordering on good governance. And we just want the press to know. And so the purpose here is not to read a prepared script, but to give you copies of the document. And then if you have any issues relating to the matters we are complaining about, you may seek clarification from us. The reason why we have sent this petition to the Commonwealth is not to suggest that we are not an independent country, but rather all independent countries by choice seek membership of some international organizations whose aims and objectives they buy into. And we all know that the Commonwealth of Nations is a group of democratic states, democratic sovereign states, who believe in the tenets of good governance. And so membership necessarily must mean that the various states must practice what the Commonwealth believes in. So if you are a member of the Commonwealth of Nations and you deviate from those practices of good governance, there are structures that we can trigger to draw your attention to those, deficits in your democratic practice. And in the worst case scenario, you could be suspended from the Commonwealth, as we saw Zimbabwe and other countries at one time or the other having been sanctioned by the suspension. So we have seen that some practices of bad governance in Ghana of late seems to contradict the core beliefs of the Commonwealth. And so we have written to the Secretary General of Commonwealth, drawing her attention to those lapses. So our government can be called to order, and so that the right things must be done in the country. So I'll proceed to just read the background to the issues that we have complained about, mention a couple of them.
Eno ena yabui. Ora samakata.
Mini abajifa.
Pacho we ebuye ye tumye kwaye no enimtiana.
Midasi bebre se wa mama kwenya. Se me so me nkyerɛ ma adwen emfa sa asemi ho. Na de tie ne se for me NDC there, when it comes to trying to peddle falsehood, nothing so try to paint the NPP government black in the eyes of the world. I think they have done it couple of occasions. HSA NDC, they are not patient, because Sawisha under President Mahama, and Niema a course within 4 years under his tutelage, economic hardships are in terms of your friend is saying human rights violations near the idea a course during that time. NPP as a government, we know, say, every 4 years, Ghanaians have the opportunity to decide if what is happening under a particular government, and Ghanaians have the right to decide. At the end of the year, that is the 4-year term. No, mama, say MPP, Jumedia ye no. If and so Ghana for 2024, Sabi, and penny for say banchinya eja ene yede echire. Mpachawati ase se banchinya eja na yede echire. Intini se MPP Jumedia ye no enya Ghana for in 2024, they have every right to decide at the polls. And that is what we MPP we believe in. And so what happened during President Mahama's time? Na business collapsing. What I say, okay, President Mahama to me jina jom edi asaka kire Ghana fo nyina se wonu de wonti obia. Sebi wo se waye odwanfunu. Waye odwanfunu. So o kansanse mwe nyina de kire Ghana fo MPP for nanka yensu ye were right. See a better pen alpha paper actually, because no kwasem ne say ye MPP for men kan nyomanum ye te brofo se na NDC for dinka brofo de ke betimi atwere bi pa nanso so ne nya botra ma omo. And in 2016 at the polls, Ghana for determine what you say in the history of Ghana under the Fourth Republic, president or ye incumbent be anyone ma wedding cho basa to say President Mahama. A sign amamo bonia or danedi under his tutelage. And Ghana went to the polls and they decided overwhelmingly Emma President Akufo-Addo the Ebefa Abano the Ediso as it stands now no they create the worst record. President Tibiani waba which are only one term. What you say? Oh, near my course no crown Ghana ye nyabotrema. It for me NDC, yes, it is within their democratic right. Some betre sa letter with their Commonwealth, whoever they think they want to talk to. I don't have a problem. But maybe problem they say they are crying wolf. They are crying more than they breathe. And what is happening in Ghana? Almost say human rights violations.
Okay, say they are crying more than they breathe. Saying in any Ghana, it's a home. It's no more can.
Mini abajifa. Dear Nekos war my Ghana more. Hard junior. Nunti NDC for now I'm coming back to dwell on the issues are almost cited here. Nunti almost omoko a Commonwealth no. Now member and also no me per se me ye content analysis of a year press conference a year general secretary mosquito any NDC for year no. Now me no first will be kasa na de work and wonim de work the confidence with which our de kasa kra no actually video a wo boy so obia wonim general mosquito the way I was see kasa ehun general mosquito say what the kasa why monyo why boson. It tells you say they are just doing this for the sake of it, not because they meant what they came to tell Ghanaians during the press conference. Now or say omeki code to be the person yes our content analysis no now obi a wo tie me no ohunu the contradiction in someone a general mosquito nankasa ye de ekaye or say since assuming the reins of power in 2016 the message of physical violence against political opponents me pacho obi a wo tie me bia for pain ne underline or say the message of physical violence against political opponents. Me pesi yen underline e honum no. That Nanado preached and championed before the 2016 general election has turned into Nanado omo kire se Nanado e kan se oba physical violence not just NDC for a baby chiwomunia buomu and as a baby chiwomunia yomoya kayaka dear physically or this say dear assistant ababe structural institutional systematic forms of violence and structural institutional any systematic now or can Uncle Bubo and Yamani be emientia or see one or more chairman a year of Uswampafu. And ne ye dina kwa kwejina court enti ye human rights violation or say opuni ye dina kwa kwejina court enti ye human rights violation ena or say ye de ato forcing akwejina court enti ye human rights violation. And I ask myself ye nuanom NDC for no human rights violation no mo kan no mo ti ase. Say if indeed almost human rights violation as here, I'm not sure say these references will be the references are coming because these are people they have fallen foul to the laws. As at now, the issues are in court and they are dealing with the issues. And you know, why is it that NDC for rush to even Abua Assembly. That is what they have done now with this a year or much because assembly in a court, these people have the opportunity to defend themselves. At the end of the day, if they are able to put in a strong defense, court and you know, my problem is that senka ebayi ena yam famra anye juma. Then NDC were right to complain. But all these issues they cited, no, Eyade said these issues are in court, and the court system is running. Everything is in perfect shape. Mode petitions near the court. Ye mama opportunity to defend yourselves. And at the end of the day, if you are unable to defend yourself, then you begin to cry. Why are we doing this? And you are bastardizing institutions. And media Yane said, I remember in before 2020 elections, Sami Jemfi ebe jina Ghana fo nyinanim e kan say NPP say NDC fo diska omuntimi emfa nipa ba kokora nkoto mu na say eye no kra NPP fo mfa ba kokora nkoto mu emienhwe. You the same person who was calling for a justice, say justice system ni adwuma na omo ye boni yemfa omo nkotum no, you are the same person, and the justice system ni adwuma, you are complaining. Why? Yenya NDC for den wo my Ghana. Yenya omo den. Yenya omo den. Yamau the opportunity. Oponi issue wa mo kano. Oponi is in court. And I will say justice wonyonuga on person better cases so they are called Supreme Court. Supreme Court at Tinase. A year 4-3 decision about justice no ni who so what me Tinase no so edi. Senke ye ena justice system no amma kwenya ma yan kansem no. Then you have complaints to get. But while the justice system is operating now, Sabre muntimi for any contrary information be ma out. Say sebe katasisha na say jumedie boni bi ekoso ewo justice system nim there. What is happening now no is deemed to be right. It's deemed to be right, and you cannot say that amounts to human rights violation because they have been given the opportunity. They have their lawyers who are defending them. So where lies the
Yetumi a crying no Ramakata
Mbacho meetio.
Yebisa say it is a sign yetumi a crying no ebutumi ne enimti ana.
The American said the NDC for no. Say omu tietia omai Ghana yen tumia e crying ene fahudia ye woso omai a yeti ye ho ene ase. Because no country in this world can ever come and decide for Ghana. And ono General Mosquito no ono ankasa ye de ekan say all that they are doing no omo de ko no one kwa ka kire Commonwealth for say omo nhwe say bibi boni akoso a they believe say bibi boni akoso say Commonwealth for ehu a then no ma ba be two Ghana for omo be two president any ye oman penny for na de ekoso a enye. For me asem no wo hu ni ti enhu ni nan na me anya me nwanwa say NDC for yes ade we because a brad Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia edaso da ye say Ghana ye japade a ye wo yemfa enko na yemfa nkoje sika in exchange form na yemfa meyem putudwuma mo Ghana. NDC for chin a year crack actually letter at the command a year Security and Exchange Commission US say saadie no omuntwam because Ghana a ye bosian ye kwa akwaje die ne kobaye omutena se omuhwehwe mu no omuhu say dwumadi a ye His Excellency Dr. Bawumia ni China for ye no edamutrodo enne ukotamalea ehun sunsaso NDC for ebefa saa eye interchange ni to be Sanka NDC for Emma Sadia no Ghana and can tamale interchange, the first interchange in the northern part of the country, and can hifana ye kwa free. Ukota kradia. So many places are benefited from a sino hydro dealer ye kofa bayano. But NDC for ma moye for a chinkrata tre a command Security and Exchange Committee see in term. It is for me when no mayano and young that is their nature. Omuno sebe eniema ebema kurabo eniema betietia o my Ghana fa hudie so eno ena omuye dey omuhye se ombeye. And for me it's so sad see a whole group of people there omuye wicked minded. They don't put Ghana first in any decision they take. They think about themselves. Yemfe to me ma omu to me so ye di mama muntimi nyehwe emfa mo man no. Yeshe Ghana amemwam since independence. NDC enya 27 years. 27 years in governance. Minu edifa se ne NDC ni etnase. No ka se Ghana ewo how Ghana ewo problema. I ask myself, senka NDC yusu 27 years judiciously edi eyempuntu juma de magana kamenye so senka yete baby yete ene. Intino, they have disappointed the country. And for me, they keep on disappointing us, they keep on disgracing us, and it's so pathetic. And it's so pathetic. And for me, it's just unfortunate. So we end this near what's we see tracing. Now say Ghana who do pa wo mu. No matter who you are as an NDC member, no, it was so trusting. Now, because NDC doesn't want anything good for this country. All they want is to put the country's name in disrepute. Or person, or Danny don't go on my name. Intimidating about the fact the NDC, it's very shameful. It's very, very pathetic. And for me, a exercise in futility. The Omaye we no in Sunsan Papa Bianya day and free muma. Because we as NPP government, we believe in rule of law, and that is what is operating. And so Puni any for I believe the justice system ebe exonerating say a year chama ofosu ampofu any for the justice system a grind slowly there, but in the end a say yamo makwenya omu court omudi omasem no, the truth will come out. Say omundi for ombefo omuhwadi but what you say atu force aba and original court. That is what we do as a country, because NDC for one tias here yentimi system rafofro emfama omo. And for me, what pains me most, and he said 1992 constitutional it is this same group of people and the transition share and then they did juma. You take every single opportunity now more bastardizing institutions. More good institutions in any say institutions are a work now, more making sure say more can't a be one symbol. Say you can't human rights violation and then a brought ye echo casayeno. Please for friend. And no, it's you better describe no as human rights violation now. Oh yeah, Bonia and Rani Ubedi PPA boss. A year, Mr. Boating. Yes, see, Nijumedia would ye no. A dear say, on one casa Jumedina, Uncle ye didn't call a yoko for a chichen in Semu, and now Babetoja, O Jessica, Yasaman sanctions. That is what a government will believe in rule of law. And that is what we are doing as just let me wrap up. Into the American say. NDC frontier say on mine na ye woman e ye nyina ye man yen hihye mrafo from mine NDC for ne yen hihye mrafo for emfa ma Ghana for aka said ye me kwache me ye bone a ye de mbekwa akogina mra no ma mra ne medie no NDC for a omo ye bone no omo nyina omo ye nipa omo ye Ghana for mra eni omuni ene mra ne opunidi mra ne chama ofosu ampofu edi Mmra eneni atoforcing any omo maka ni nyina ye de edie na mmra no eso omumu a ye nkasa omu ye NDC ponti ye de cha omo nti NDC for NTS yesa no munya so omugu eye oman Ghana animu ase no mini edifa medase bebre
yo yeso yedase ora konedu na NDC for mo na mo de ya ho Commonwealth no asa yet ho ye hu so bi na ye pray ho akwaji mfa wudie na sesi a ebu aboye nso ana mo yesa
Miniaba before say meyi o question no mama minia MacArthur ajo enanyumre na mana kwa ba so na maka che ni say ye na omumbu bi na ko school ye ni mo omo pa enti sa omo asem na omo ka all the time say omunum chain NDC for no highly unfounded, and there is no evidence in terms of what? How do you even measure say obin madiachen obi? How do you measure that? How do you measure that?
Say on the maka some the mo a lawyer for ne doctor for akese na NDC for the yes mo ko school no mo just school prefects more aka mo dey ground work ni dining hall na mo dey mo je
many aba omo kasa aya na S3P yani sele me kan yani bi mu na ko school me na o kasa mi amada ba kon o ye mo Ghana Free Zones Board or Kufa the office me na ko school akra me pa but because o ye NPP ni ntino and we hu say service onimade chen but ye ni nya na ko school ni sele na modern moti aya omo kasa asem na menim omo criteria o yisu and yakọ court ye hu the way NPP lawyers argue or court ye hu the way NDC lawyers argue or court they share turning later ye share chachuchi kata now they compare omo akoto ampaw omo say we lawyer na adwumu do no now the what to talk lawyer Addison ho now share 2012 and 2013 court case ni bi now here last 2020 court case ni bi now bet na aka kire me say NDC for sebi ya born na munum ma na e ka me say ase unum de oka so also pa ko yemfa omo kuta doctorate our Ghana na ehwe ba bi omu gina na ehwe ibu say NDC for our more doctorate holders NPP for and NDC for nkasa and ya hwe ye TV e hwe de yakoso ye hwe mo amu na bi na also ye lawyer na bi ntimi make one cogent sentence on live television as so ye lawyer enti san so na mo aka kire ene se na bi ye frɛ no ko ba no so before say be frɛ sami dem fi obetimi na bi aso sami dem fi mo nkrofo mu na betimi na toto Samuel Okudjeso Black one o de betoto Felix oposu kwache ho aya munya sa ansem na mo kana na Ghana for ye ni ya buro sa de no so o de yemfa ansem na mo akọ school na mo na munum ade mo na mo akọ Yale akọ Oxford akọ Harvard ni ade mo be fa akunya no e de be na mo aye de aboa ma Ghana atu empon firi bebia na e wo no bebia na NDC for ya bon no ye ja o ma no mo be fa o ma ndi akọ duru clearly as mo ka dia fans keke and then mo ni mo guase because mo na mo ma Ghana for ti say ye ka mo nim economics dia and then e ba omia ne osafo mafo ne nkrofo and then mo be fa akunya and $1 and na over 7 cedis $1 and na over 7 cedis £1 almost 10 cedis mo amosi mu no ade na mako Harvard akọ Yale akọ Oxford no and the Ghana economy no in shambles. And so sasam na ya mo keka say mo na munimu ade e munya sasam na kana Ghana for say abro sa ade no so menua ba me da wase na mama etiefo kwa ba biem so mama kwanya say me so me nkyere ma adwen fa NDC yen petition e dia koma the Commonwealth no ashase na mema Ghana for ate Commonwealth no kwa ye den na ye Commonwealth ye ekubata ya ate a eye oman Britain ene dano na Britain edano no eye countries a omu share Britain ase abra na enkwasum eho no oman a Britain edi wo so no omu na akom ho bom a Britain da omu ano ena yate sa kuo no enye oman a Britain di omu so nkwa man bo no a Britain di omu ba omu ankasa na apply some joining organization no na organization no ne values any the principles no are not bounded. They are not binding in the sense that so open na would do so. And because Omaya journey or group are all independent countries. All of them are independent countries. And so some organization no the values and the principles no are not binding in any way. They are not binding in a way. And now, and area say a woman, bilateralism, any multilateralism, any international cooperation, any book of mine. Also, my be now for 4 hours, no mediga, or my and then watch it now, or one, and until then, they are also Ukraine. So, Besha, who won't say Ukraine, our allies, and almost tries to provide support at Ukraine. And that is the importance of international cooperation. And that is why. Yes, a Magana who didn't see Yedi on Akobo Sakubatan, and Nene on Johnny Sakubatan. Minia, before say, me continue. Mema Minia Macata, Atia Simbiasi. Commonwealth Charter, said ye etini. Or say, we the people of the Commonwealth, recognizing that in an era of changing economic circumstances and uncertainty, we trade, new trade and economic patterns, unprecedented threats to peace and security, a surge in popular demands for democracy, human rights and broadened economic opportunities, the potential of the need for the Commonwealth. Now, I say the need for the Commonwealth as a compelling force for good and as an effective network for cooperation and for promoting development has never been greater. The actually in say sa ekuba time we say no any chata na no we are say the economic insecurity, the call for democracy and rule of law, the respect for human rights. There echoes we are seeing and my come boom so joining Commonwealth no. My say about rule of law, about democracy, about press freedom. Say yen the legitimate say you be born you boy on what no more we say the tenets of democracy no akoso ya man and the Saudi tum sa na say actually over to an mobia etia the values, the core values of the organization. Member states no and I say citizens of member states our rights so petition and at their end is for you know and undermining your sovereignty in any way and undermining your sovereignty in any way. In fact, that is the right thing to be done. And only idea, you know. Say, Minya Makata, every track today say, I'm personal, you're abusing human rights because of doing so. Idea. Me say, Minya Makata about Chemi, how doing so constitute, an abuse of human rights. How does it even, constitute an abuse of human rights? Me said, doing so, a technical problem. And I worked for several years, and it needed to be solved with a lasting solution. I said, Omampeni Kufo Befa Kunya, Akusumo dam level no call from one. Now, experience do so. Or pass off for instance, or be technical, experts, not among access problem, no, or they are so for the call, so most of them instead of being so too. Not dam level ever possible. And Kanya.
Spiritual, you're more spiritual than physically.
Your idea you dealing with spiritually, and your idea you dealing with physically. A needy intellectual minds. And they are solving. So, can you solve the amount? You've got to think. You've got to think, and that is what you're gentleman, mama, and the sa doom sonny de ma on fan cassette, and then abusing human rights. There are some countries that don't even have access to electricity, and so back at times on some more abusing human rights and your man problem no. So what I say, all Casan was say abusing human rights under NDC. Under the NDC, when you can't rule of law, not Ghana, number 2, our Africa say. About press freedom, second, our Africa say. And then when it comes to press freedom and rule of law, Ghana is 7th on the continent. Ghana is 7th on the continent as of 2021. And to no Akufo-Addo now or opposition or ma Ghana for na chi asese we human rights activists, we human rights lawyer ntino. Yan to aba no mmra na Ghana for ye pa hodie NCP no and na ono no person mu no and na Ghana from ye ranking in terms of human rights and press freedom from ye nim say so o join Commonwealth now and we know the born benefits we free in terms of foreign direct investment FDI and international investment will be free Britain about West Africa no? most of them about Nigeria and Ghana because any countries are I say the largest that sub-region and about Commonwealth member countries now I your West Africa now Ghana and Nigeria in terms of population and in terms of economic might the economy in the one and anytime they are almost a Britain tries to obelio investment into is former colonies so that they are able to create jobs create economic growth and to say kasa asemo ya or see your petition said that they Akufo-Addo on question 1 year na emma your ranking in terms of human rights any press freedom and question because and investors ehwe sa no ma no no musical be show my say aka and aso for na command what and CSOs omuntimi nkasa because okasa aban ebe persecute you eno ntino say ekobasa say kimu na say obi aka no atumu at the end of the day the democracy na yes no and we all know say our democracy is still very young. Our democracy is still very young. Na mo obi anya say 1992 a change ni democracy na nyini. America's democracy anya mfie bebrebe. What they compare your democracy now, and you're very, very young. And anything that is harmful to it could even destroy it. And I was say your boy democracy no by because and then I might do so your dream. And I did a pose threat to it, we've got to fight it. And into the year fighting against the Nakufuado, Amamu Bonia, what the Ghana Epomu. So ma creating mama at least allow us to express ourselves. Allow CSOs to express themselves. Criticism, there, I can't democracy on. And the democracy effect. Your dissenting views. Saying Kenya about Kenya NDC before, and I say NPP before, and I'm saying different. And until you what different political denominations. And you also NPP for say, or man or mubu or man the American for. Then a man that constitutional mandate. So on me or minor or mubu or minor. And someone here undermine the constitutional right of Ghanaians. We've got every right. Say Bekasa etia. You want every right. Say Bekasa etia. No, I say the democratic court in Kenya justice system. You know, Miniaba. Akufuado Amiatia say judiciary. No, or among the 3 arms of government. No, judiciary near a particular arm of government. I was saying me and Michelle. Now you try to reform it constitutionally, because so Osha legislature now, members of the legislature now, they are elected into positions of office. So Umbeko represented Omunkrofo, and the executive has got no power over the legislature. Executive, as also they are also elected, but Osha the judiciary, any the very arm of government, they are not elected. They are not elected, they are appointed by the president, by the executive. So clearly the executive has power over the judiciary. So when we say we are practicing a democracy that has a separation of powers and stuff like that. Not Penino and appointing chief justice, or appointing Supreme Court judges near the idea. Clearly the judiciary, it is not independent. It is not independent. And yet independent say and then what's some called depending on where you stand in the political line, and I bet you maybe a case in the court. What's some court now you perceive we NDC near you would the way a rule in the court. Say you perceive we NPP near and who rather some NDC for NPP for AD or mining.
Bibi sa mamu hu ana say mususu say ebetimi esi.
Many about Yohana Nano abato on branch elections. Obi kotam I say kind of pie branch executive back etim. Sign the panel or yachino. Yen na be the course o kumase I will be a cofa a rifle I will then a party office. That's what we do about obey interrupted process no or obey you. Sanko for the actual man. Sanko for the actual. Many about say.
I say you so show me in
many about say Adeba Kwan, Ghana police, me to check the mom who say Obi di Bonesi and correction. Many about say Obi di Bonesi Ghana police in correction. Actually 48 hours. But say in the part of the Boneno, when you're politically inclined, it will take forever. It will take forever. Enti sa videos are akoso abontini nyina no enti Ghana police enti mi enwu nipa potina na okuta tu no omo enti mi identify sa party constituency office no omo enti mi identify many aba hwe sa nya atom na ekoso o manu no ene na ama ene NDC for ya petition Commonwealth no because they come here say as we NDC ni a wonti mi nkasa we NDC near the other can say abano, the other can say Babana Abaso, Abana Yadi, because the free stages about Casan and Abano the material. So can't hear a tear abano pa, that is also about so. Check a quite omode Mesa Thompson, a faso. Check quite omode Sakat Afaso. Check quite omode Bobiansa Afaso, Captain Smart. Now was setting for up. Democracy now, yeah, practicing idea, very, very fragile. Democracy is very fragile. In fact, peace is very fragile. And it's what they win a peace, not once so many and a pop from the Caribbean about a bepai. Russia and Ukraine as a Michas, no, Bian is already or more time and a half to saying. Should they do to say, peace is sacred and peace is very important. So one check, so and then Timamufoni be sorry. Na they will force or they say Kimwa. There's a woman say police, the military, population and do civilian population, Settlement for an article want to say a wofu, say a table of Montana. No military, no police officer can stop the civilian. And you also want to say a yen yato by the amount so mukubu man. On Makama Ghana from Casa. So your ma Kwama Casa project 2016. No more charm try any minute at the fire, you right on the one mamma so and Ghana 42 Missam Pamani Obia. Where you push Ghana for Tobantiana and Paya Tobatiana. I was sent to Kumpa or more Casa or more show articles or more exposes are not any merit. And the group upon no say Ghana for Tia Tobatiano. NDC former Kwama Sanomani in Apostle. Ma Kwama Sanomani in Apostle. After they then buyer and a so-called human rights activist, human rights lawyer, and then they also Casa, who is a journalist Casapa, not a banner trust of Begagio. Anyway, the most annoying part is that you see the police system. You see the police system and the gagging for. And the Okasa and young for one more quarter. Yes, so I'm making pronouncements. I tell you for me, I didn't make a quarter. And nobody will make pronouncements. Come to town. Only petition and as only court papers in Mungo. Police and I could for the AUSU at the persecuting for. And the police system and I could for the use at the gagging for. Say you win now. I can't boom one. Na a chese or man will be any. I will be just the same. A idea you dracono. A idea you dracono because Kabman can be a idea and no Abuama a U.S. Fourth Republic. Abuama a doom pepper and no be able gonna do because a democracy a union idea. But say a year, no matter doom pepper soil doing it. Obiabo a doom. Your country is almost small for us. A woman is the way a Ghana practices democracy. Yabaye a modern state. Ama some countries or our continent in it wasn't the day making sure say we don't destroy the reputation that you have built over the years. And to me, I'm at a banner for Casa. One ma Ghana frontier say, and no one on ya. It's ya on my constitution, no. And no one on ya, it's a tierney papa who do so. Memma, I said, what we no sabre soon. What's here and ask was the man can say a D. And then the way Ghana for your Becassa because and the social media way more you see mainstream media no at the trust more churn out propaganda your basic social media near they expose more. No behind him say after 2016 no behind him say for better for several years and I said people better for several years but because of social media any access to information are so easy to know and the Ghana for you know with the cost from no touch you one more ball man and the papa who they will take your soul man and the Ghana for you know him say and the Ghana for you say, yeah, party say a cake of Mamika Motia say a NDC. And in 1992, on my party and uncle the through a mutual janta, near Tanasika say, you draft the constitution, said they bay, they practice democracy, and Ghana for now, at Makasama Ghana for Swati. Near Omania equal representation of parliament. And then NDC, and I'm 2 years, 1992, and then they don't pay so every. In the political party, what take a Mamika Biasi, what take rule of law, the great NDC. And the end before, Omunya is
what trying to say near NDC for a year, petition and what for Commonwealth no. So be a woman. Say ebu ye man no ahonde ekura no ebu ne nimtia ana se egu ne fi mfonso bi e wo ho kra sa na wo pa chesisia
menu ba e de be na egu animtia chense obefa chense asiuti na akonkofa maso ko chise skada egu man e de be na fere e de egu o man ho
aban
bia ye aha nti aban bia ye dia enye Ghana pe ene oman a on the citizens and as a political party bia petition the ruling government and international body enye yempe okay yeah member of the ICC of the International Criminal Court say yeah members and your countries are omo ko fa kwa ya prosecute omo your former president say don't kwa ya prosecute omo ICC and so omo go man no fiana and so go man no fiana me ba hwe asa amamu na afoforo omo hu de omo nka so utie the charter the Commonwealth Charter now was say we do this in the spirit of international cooperation. Said ye be can na ho bom na aboa mo ewiase ene be papa dina na member countries no omonye be papa dom na dina enu ntina your form is organization no and to be no mo egu member states no feel say we be cause so on be reported the mother body no and many about in the first place no so commission no and as a Commonwealth the people empo ba the NPP is not under any obligation say omo be sa adena to so many guy no values recommendations findings are not binding. They are not binding. So say Commonwealth kasa it is up to them to either accept it or reject it. And omo how anything krono mo manum and the reason nyina yeka omaya krono ekoso in terms of Transparency International on ranking na abana wo hwe ba bia Ghana da kire wo say yegu enwu anu asepoto internationally you go krono ya de egu nipa ho fi egu oman ho fi preventing investors from investing in the country and the some mpani ngwase dia and the krono na mo abo oman na ma ye ko dum bembe so ya duru no mo nya krono no bo na Ghana reputation en kosoro na ye attractive among the international community and only ade be bo oman na say ye de ni akire Commonwealth ye de ni akire Commonwealth pound violations man violations kosoro oman mu nti huma Commonwealth en hwe no oni aban kasa na on kasa mfa ho no eno nti enya de be go oman mu fi da biara da enya de be gu oman mu fi internationally accepted internationally accepted. And you know, many about mom kasa mo kashire nye many about me da se
yo yes yeah that's it ye be kon ya kwa kofa ye comments any suggestions what dem I your first comment every wise fights amasaman or say if a kufado can preach about Arab Springs and scared of who then he is a coward. You Nana Osei Boateng or say, my dear brother Kunedu, please stop the rhetorics and the ambiguity. Please be truthful to yourself. Appointment of judges is in the constitution. You, the NDC, wrote to say, NPP Omonia for Sodiayu. NDC diaspora. So wow, Bennett is very good. It's a very good communicator. NDC really have the men to boast of you. And they said, so be our men. Patricia Jire, also what Bennett is saying is true. Citizen Sawa Jr. Bennett kudos expose them, Daddy, and men can come. Kwekuadi, I can see Bennett being a bit angry. He's doing well. You will, that's it. And also about him, you must say, Michael Arthur, I'm proud of you. Patience Dako, my greetings to my brother Kabna Dako, who is watching the show on Multi TV in Ablifma in Accra. Medasi. NDC diaspora, the late Prof. Mills was the teacher of most of the NPP big men, but they will brag that we know more than the NDC. Then be so student in here good send the teacher and also wo. VRS Ghana, or say good evening. You are clear on Multi TV Ghana. Watching you live from Edukubit, Eastern Region. Greetings to my wife, India Texan, who is also watching at Takwa. Yeah, that's it. And now say Boatim, you must say brilliance at its best. You're simply nailing it. Mensa obeying Massa, we are not ready to listen to your life anymore. We don't use English to rule like French and other countries cannot do anything in their country. If you have any to challenge or say, please stop because you are provoking the youth in Ghana. We are wise now, you and your party, and Mayor Shores of Manchester Baumia cannot lie to us again. Patience Zako, Sijifa, I love your hair. I'm watching you from Hamburg, Germany. You're doing a good job. But I say, me hair every hair by Emmy into with me contacting on Instagram. Kofi, if I was a host is looking brighter than Ghana's future. Hey, you, say. Yo, yebeko na yakwa kofa yen second topic. Okay, another comment for her. News in Ukraine. 3rd March 2022. First POW exchange was carried out in Samshina. Another exchange, 5 of your people from territorial defense for not Russian military. Pato, yebekone akwakofa second topic. Yes, I shared the delay in payment of public sector workers. Yes, payment charter eba assets last year, December. Anka, it was say 25th of February, public sector workers, eji on market here. Now, so a B salary, a delay, a bidum crown puno, besine, yentia omoka, it's a bisa say, Ghana. Yes, kasam ena enko ye say ye broki kra anase ye boapayo. Ebinom nso esusu say we eye strategy a ye a ye pese e-levy no chinchinachi ye de beto ho nti na ya hyeda na ye dili amount for salary ni aka say oh ye ni sika nti ye den a wo say ye jitu ora makata Samra wona waban ete Sweden. E was say utimi ebuebua nsemi ano emaye. Ghana yetika sem na enko yi ana say eyebo apayo.
Yo, minu ejifa meba wasem no so. But emi say we de fache me e wese me ye. Me boss bo kakra. So bo me de bo ne say minu akuna du kasa no. Na me pese enka obetwe na adwene asi bibi so. O se me say dum so human rights abuse. I never said that. And minu akuna du mesrel say me wo kasa no metie u pa. And so I'll be able to give concrete references to every point you made. It misrel me kasa na wenya botre no watie me. No wenya botre no watie me, and don't just throw dust around. Say me see human rights abuse is or akin to doomso. I never said that. I made mention of doomso in reference to Atetia Modi Omani Komu. Why would I come and sit here and say human rights abuse is akin to doomso? My brother, please let's respect the program. Na yen try see a bit Nokware Mmre. That is what I want to clear. That is the first point. And I'll make reference be said under NDC time, Human Rights and Rule of Law Index. Na NDC better than NPP. That is false. I'm giving you my source. Me metena hanom enka bibi just for the sake of saying I'll give you the source of my information. I'll give you the source. And maybe se minu ajifa obe share side we say so because program no this is a platform very very powerful. Into ne yetna ne yeka bibia ye make sure say ye no we give concrete information. Ne nye se ye ka bibia tra because ye nim se ebia obi entimi enya the opportunity to refer entini aka bi watra sa na yeko. Meme the source the globaleconomy.com. Go and check na me ma the records no na me nua no wati asem no kan no false. And for the sake of time to me ma just the year on end year in and values no. And you know in 2016 na Ghana OSHA rankings na ye toso 112. Sorry, in 2016 ye toso 106. In 2016 ye toso 106. And in terms of rating no say ye 0 e chere say e high. E 10 na chere say e 0 na chere say low. And I say 10 na chere say very high. And so in 2016 na Ghana your value 5.30 in terms of rating, which means it was worse in that time than in 2021 4.40 in minua so betna hanom ena in 2021 it was 112 in terms of the rankings. The index no it was 112. Intimina your friend is saying, Kunadu, Mr. Let's always try and give accurate information because program na ya betina so no ye wonipa nimdifo akasifo a yensoma ye ka no they will subject it to scrutiny ahihiem enye obi a na obetie do atie no watra saa enti Mr. Moma yen try see ye betina han ma ye beka and try to please the public by just saying anything. Na ya can say ani yeko. Na okan sembi say sometimes me doing some one ya na me nti ase. Ukro ye o say time hi ferry say ye befa ye kuru wade ane na mama so akwakoji sika bosia e dia ba bebo ye man ho bra na no wukuru ya na oti ase Ghana yenko IMF. Where lies your integrity, Mr. Kunedu? I'm asking you, where lies your integrity? Ana sa o kase wi a ade achi so ana o refi se asem way na me kan ye. I'm not sounding disrespectful and but I'm only pointing out to you. And now what say ye fa ye kruwa koni na mama so jibosia ferry. So why do you recommend say NPP for enko IMF? IMF ni ye kono dia ni ye kwa akoye. E dia na wo suggest say yenko IMF no sebe ho ni ye kwa akobo ampe. Yenko bo ampe. Sika kro na wo se ye fakuru wa se ye kwa akoje a ferry no enu abi na wo ka kire se ye kwa akoje. How can you approbate and reprobate? How can you do that? Mr. Kunedu Misrao, you are a very fine gentleman, and Madikaka, I respect you so much. I respect you. And so, Mesre say, let's try to be truthful to ourselves. Said, yeah, Nana Boatin Ekan, yen kanu kre. And now Tianum say, see, appointed judges, because a year executive now appointed judges in Tino. My brother. And Nana Boatin rightly made reference to that. And Nemra yedi adwuma na himfo na chechire mra. It is you, these same people. Na mo de sabe eso mo nan a na mo de mo pese mo de mo nsasane na emom eso obi nan de mo se yensan fa chechire ne nsa ne emfa mia na fe aden NDC for aden. It is too bad mo mienhwe na yensesa It is not the best. And my last rebuttal, mini akwedu, me pa chow bebre. Deɛ teɛ ne sɛ Ghana yɛn nyinaa na yɛkyekyere o. Ghana yɛn nyinaa ɛna yɛyɛ dɛ yɛkyekyere. Si yɛka sɛ during momo time, ɛyɛ nipa fa ahodie so atiatia ɛkɔɔ so a, don't make it look like say as a NPP brace nkwa na saa deɛ no kɔ so. Menkae koraa no standogbe ɔgye ɛyɛ reporter yɛ ne mic ne nneɛma de hwee fam. What you say? A lot of things happened. And can say ebia NPP breso yache Captain Smart yache wan wani. Minia niema course wo NDC time no. Ya papa Kennedy Japan yanche no. Yanche ya papa Kennedy Japan say treason ni ade. You see, that is the problem of NDC. More Rashid taking issues to court without doing scrutiny. More scrutinize asem mo kwa no makwa akodi for then move yana mo blame the justice system of Ghana. NPP by no for 5 years ye nya botre ahwehwe nsem no mu de yehu se nukure wo ma ye de kokota ye wo asem ka no ye de kokot, and that is what we do. Enuntina ebra NDC baye mudi eye friend is say rekun brobe ekoye mudi eye honorable Asamoah Boatin ekoye mudi eye yem papa osafuma for court. All of these issues came to naught because mo enya botre anhwehwe nsem no mu ampe eye concrete evidence. Mo ye we say nyina mo kodru court mo di nsem court petition court e kobusam say mo figures won a mo say ye de ni figures. Do your homework well. That is what people should do. Obisi Ameswale. Go to a year, I have mem Goso. Abranti, a friend is said, I've forgotten his name. No, so a journalist wo. No, yen shimu efa and ne opunya sama abai. Yakan was a fertilizer. Namo teacher Edima Manfo. George, your friend George, I've forgotten his real name. Ewo eye goso abrantie no oye san hwehwemu evidence ana odi babon to mo chi no kun no. Nti an mo kan Ameswala asem. Ono de sabi na onye a journalist ana. It was under your watch. And as I did near this year, into Mr. Yama Mumian idea no. As if said when NDC was in power, everything was right. That was not the situation. Into Minia ba Fachame. In some miniano ebe kan no dodo na no sebe for me na ye rodo rather some na obey de obekan enti na ama mani abra me rebatin some okan no etimi da ase ma memra o question na obusa ye no so de tie ni say Ghana for it is time say ye hia niema bi na ye gi niema bi tum se ye pese ye ma ni tumi tum pon a there are certain things we, the citizenry, we have to sacrifice. And now, the people in authority, and when I make I will not lay blame on only government. I will lay it side by side. Say, ye wo asudie. Na the attorney say, miniaba, a year COVID by year 2020. COVID dina so ding. But I won't say, media me a teacher and intimidate teacher for Bayanshas. A teacher for tenefie for almost a year. Did it ever happen? Say a year almost salary, almost sanka. And see that. But what I say, a binary more than 8 years, a baby, a brand no mutifie. You see, the reality is that we have to accept the fact that the global economy is under stress. The global economy is under stress. And let's not behave, say, Ghana is an island of its own. Ghana, yes, we are part of the global world. And whatever effect a year COVID, any other businesses, no, as no, a business by your mind, so let us accept that fact. And no, say the reality is that times are hard. Me Germany amity in 2019 na GDP no it was around 8.6 and nay COVID inti atia ba 3.7 but what I say I feel no more memoir and nam around 7 to 8.6 enti no jetiani say the world is suffering enti ene sakwa koba say eye aban no ho akire no na ebia bosome baako onya sika emfa ma adwumayefo a ha adwene because oye adwuma na sebe bosome aso na okakra wase yedima o yemfa ma wa edene and I pity minuanom adwumayefo because me so no said the medical can na me teacher ni ana me da so kra ye teacher ni and so whatever is happening so me honor to me I will feel it. But yentia say NPP aban aban a ogine ne manfo ho nti no said ye na wo ka say because of see a person a passing 11 na yema amanfo ho akire o menu adifa NPP government as I know will never ever take the Ghanaian people for granted na emma o no ma ho nkire wo mo because ye person a passing COVID ye passing 11 but what did you mention on us? Into that assertion, no, a falsehood and a man for the pedal. The reality is that times are hard, and a bino adasun that no say. Let us try and rake in a lot of people. There are so many, there were over 30 million people. How many people pay tax? We expect a bino to solve all our problems. How is that possible? Let's be realistic as a people.
Patrol, maybe so. Yeah, cause times are hard. Ain't na yenye especially teachers. When you say teachers receive your salary for February. Omo salary no. Then omo depend was so until ye bet you omo be ya survive till say
these kind of delays it does happen. I remember vividly well in 2015 after Xmas na e was say ye je was Xmas ye Xmas ya nanka salary no eba entem but what I say before the month ends. And that time I remember very well say delays there. If you go into records, in fact, I won't be able to give you specific years, but delays in salary payment, this is not the first time. And even those times, now you need crucial issues like pandemic. Of course, we are a telling effect on businesses. And a binding car say on to my forecast. And I made come mao and just was even when they were at home, no munya jumakran. Abani TI. It is a net and near memoir din kakra. And let's not forget, abino echesika or yeni si to ho. Budget abini ye no. As at now, some of the budget components no outstanding. I am passing here. Where do we expect the government to get money from? Ye kroya yesu say ye NDC for ayom dia broni dia dumfo a omu si niema pa aban ne pese wo ye kwan bills a ye dia kogu parliament a wasi ye passing ema aban ne timi nya sika etimi di tu adwumayefo ka no. All these things NDC for they are blocking it. And for me, I will lay some part of the blame on Ghanaians. And especially when the member boy Yankasa NPP for support. Say young man for Bonia Omudi D a MPsa. Ye to skirt and blouse, no, and no, and a neck, and Wunsun Sanso, a day, a by a son. What I say, ain't you know me feel say this is a way I was a Ghana for young day, you and near maybe near maybe. Taxes are a pessia, you know, Mumma engine to me and tia. Levy Momian passing in Tiana buying a ska. On for being aquine, on for being tia at my foca, on for being more or mine or bra. Na say you croya yen, I said yes, on mine mapano, yen pessia bay. Na your pessia pia all the burden on the government. Sabin penifo say bako or really a dura a go. The government alone cannot solve all the problems of the country. We need to support the government to do so. And NPP are buying actually say when the support is there, or the yeniamapa, and which is social intervention programs are you roll out a year juma boa and yafone adodua. And just say NPP are buying we want to solve the problems. But the point is that let us also agree and meet the government halfway. Na yensu ya said yes on mine yenye. Na say yenya na afe sikani futuma yedi bebo on mine no bra. Then you the same people you come back and you are complaining. Legitimate, I agree. But the point is that let us agree, say yensu we have a role to play as a people of the country. Intimini anoma jumaefua sabi delays abano. I share your pain, but the truth is that a brave way a woman, a near ma air cosono, and yet we should all agree, say pandemic no, and yensu so yen country NDC for say omunchi omunfri no ma abino quine, not a year near my idea call parliament. Say ye quaco passing ye dear pisca, a dear bo or mine or brano, yen massa no coso. Minim se minua ben eba be kasa etia say na yentua my foka ba wo kro ya wo si e-levy kwan ehimfa na aban no enkofa sika emfa ntua my foka iti misrem Ghana for menye ya sede ye asede a oman no betumpon minua difa me da se bebi
yo meso me da se ora ko na edu pa cho wo
no pa ni oba no pa
Mwachada na moto kase 11 na yenti amanfo kada na yenti for musubantita
mini aba me da se me ba ene so na me pese me conclude bibi wa say she eba rule of law there were international think tank organization omo based in Washington DC. They're from World Justice Project. They are based in Washington DC. Omo report on my year about Ghana's rule of law and your ranking in America crazy at the amount. Or say Ghana's overall rule of law score decreased by 2.2% in this year. In this year's index. In this year means 2021. At 58th place out of 139 countries and jurisdictions worldwide. Ghana remained in the same position in global rank. Ghana's score places it at 7th out of 33 countries in the sub-Saharan region. So clearly, Meka sa think tank here making obi ono an kasa menua magata obetima your how kasa research now akwe omo refer to 2021 I actually say your ranking globally you remain at 58. But then when it comes to sub-Saharan Africa, you decrease here from baby and you want to 7th. Your percentage score no reduced by 2.2%. Enti minia makata na eno de oho no. Na minia ba difa me shase yakwa free him baby a Ghana yedri ye free fa na bedrum pempenso yedri yewura John Dramani Mahama aban efra kunya so no na ade a waje sika any vehicles a ebe create sika ede ama aban bi a wabefa akunya no. In fact vehicles ni bi o hono mo a na they were meant to last for a period of time, but about we ban you say we extend there ebi to say esla ebi to say special petroleum levy ni nyina na ade a na nka ya hye duration bi dia ma na say nka after 3-4 years no nka ye be yi ade afro no mo say special petroleum levy no ade a opeka ya some time ago under the NDC crude price globally it cut down to about $28, $25 per barrel, and Ghana being a net exporter of crude no na ya ade a yesika sem no ato achuka credit na was say yetimi ede to akra to fuel so said about buying bit sika akra no or they make it up na losses na or make international market no into na this special petroleum levy buy yɛde buy no yɛde buy sanka emedi mfie 9 tinka mfie 9 nso a nanka yɛyɛ fro mfie na nanka yɛade nka beso 2018 aban we say asa extend no sa vehicle no sika yɛde ma aban no afibia over $1 billion and afibia yɛde ma aban no na ɛyɛ akra wo mu ne sɛ aban we say collateralize sa vehicle na they say sika bia efi mu ba bia na ɛkɔ private investors are loans to aban no ɛhɔ overkaya price stabilization levy so yɛde buy and also was I extended the duration no at about 2030 or so ye Jessica get fund that ye over $1 billion and yɛde tum edema aban we ansana yɛkɔ heritage fund ye over $400 million and yɛde tum ansana yɛkɔ isika NDC jado to homa aban we abra ye frɛ kunya so sika na esombo sika na ka ban we na so ohwe na ko de bo oman yi hu oman ho bra na edum pempen so at least okoso okopɛ ana so oba so obekumplize won kyerewa Ghana fo nyina beka say oh ampa wa ya de pempen so wo deserve say ye ma obi kan ba ban we ba befa kunyen as slogan ba point ya ti over and over again and say what the free SHS aba enti no yemo na ba so enti enti no oba so we pesika free ho bia yen kasa aba na ya de na yen fa say skare man menua ba free SHS no afibia sika ko free SHS no 2 billion Ghana cedis and in the last 5 years no sika akọ free SHS no what do you call it about 6 billion 10 billion billion Ghana cedis and akọ aban we ho na aban we ayina sika in revenue enye the borrowings nko in revenue nko aban we enya over 440 billion Ghana cedis in revenue ne sika bosia wabo ene adade enya ma meka ho se bosia aba we abobo aba beka ho aba we buy ne sika wanya no over 700 billion Ghana cedis sika aba we ba fa akonyo we enkwa ne nsa aka no enti se ne osa aba begina wo se omo kyerew unya sika mfa ntua adwuma yefo ka menua ba na e kama ya se aba we atete Ghana asɛ no ye ka menua mak ata kasa no wo se covid buy no enye Ghana nko ana ye ho kire affect ewiase amaman na menua makata ba on many countries 4 after covid no almost say afedie sikasem why the ntumi ntu omodima e foka oba many countries 4 even in Africa many countries 4 covid buy and IMF World Bank
eso man bia na ho odin enti untimi nkata o de Ghana sikasem to oman foforo and I'm sure most more income munyam and now tax will be generating. And you be na into your channel more modern on my one was so say it takes me fine home to tone.
Many about by Simons some time ago a key post to be no what say so all the countries or Africa and even some countries of my reference to India, Russia, Brazil. Countries they are highly advanced than Ghana, or the Ghana in terms of their population, or more qualifies to be taxable, size of the population, in terms of percentage. In particular, tax, na Ghana for mutual tax, our taxable. Na Ghana were about 58% of those people are on mutual tax. Edema or minor. Or they compare Nigeria were just over 50%, just over 50%. To compare Nigeria and clearly so what sika or money now they compare your population now in terms of percentage sika yen sika sombo pa South Africa had my South Africa for many years when I had the America say they say mini Europe and I say mini Australasia and I say mini America number another African country number one the way do manefa many about told be na share the way Ghana your quota amounts be. Now when compare, Chroma say they all the same project and as the same policies. To come to Romana. Now we become at the Ghana no say maybe a cotton no man, your cotton before Frana. A cotton before Frana. About we buy no many about. Yet what the COVID since 2020, what the COVID upon once as a for him artists the over can be Sika and why I doing a COVID. Sika who I doing a COVID. But more Southern African the side countries in Iran, you take country there, it is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe COVID by will check COVID bonus and the money teachers. Zimbabwe and what children now you'll be able to COVID and what children in Zimbabwe which even proud of COVID. Zimbabwe which children no check any part many power check me mama mufie then you hear me mama mufie of Zimbabwe or a mature woman or clear a principal our Zimbabwe or catch them say okunu edge COVID-19 bonus I over $140 every single month. Zimbabwe and what children know Zimbabwe na COVID before COVID that or that and what children know Zimbabwe to meet COVID bonus to the money teachers. Zimbabwe I want international sanctions at the almost almost international trading book. So and Zimbabwe yes can check COVID bonus at the money teachers. And two percent saying Ghana I want to a chance Zimbabwe. Hey, aban we say aya aban why no say and na many comrade B kasa. And na me chance comrade Morty kasa na me chance say so what share the way Akufo Addo bebe fa kunyin wa branded the international reputation so what abontena hwe Ghana come as a Ghana to say heaven but say over the room Ghana is very different ade ba ko aba we ya ye ni ye pa international relations why ye ni ye pa wa branding no ye pa wa branding Ghana ye pa but o Ghana mu a said aban we cultural international community no nya sanity said the wakatre ewiase mansan nyina say one na oba ya o ma Ghana asesa no nya sanity de biara da or buy an investment brand or the sabu same about revenues be about when you know scam can debit or the ayo man apart from 3 years just now or they no one apart from that but scam the benefit say revenue now if I for remember no dey Juma bay and or dey Juma bay na ban we dey enti say na over betra na ka tem say I buy no ntimi charge me foka enti e ma kwame pass e-levy bill na e come as say the asem a amanfo kan say e-levy na kwese mu akwese herbal medicine na say awie bia no na e come as no kra na sa because your hana road ministry no and as a minister about want be kan say yam one yam pass combine e-levy bill no say the be ya ye betu check contractors kan o matimi ayi akwan your hana mo say yam boana yam pass could be e-levy bill no so that we bet see hospitals after there e-levy na abaya there to say e bet me aye no be be there Ghana na say 6.9 billion Ghana cedis e bet me yes na be we nyina aden na waje bosi over 228 billion Ghana cedis and we me fanya no na mo kan mu 30% po aden sika na sika mo ya den after e ban say all of a sudden 6.9 billion Ghana cedis no e bet me solve Ghana problems nyina after the moment say man prioritize your needs yana after the moment say 6.9 billion no e be kan say you bet na no be and say ke hu yankasa bo say be ya bone revenues will be yan and ke yan say the person ke use e-levy am fans no aban we I didn't throw na edi bu o man no or the throw na edi bu o man ana on pesa Ghana for be so beti ase say e ampa Ghana drum pempenso bi a de gina kono yesikasam atwape eno na professor Roman atugu ba kan amanfo say yenkonkwache no o say aban no enyintum say omani sikasam no ayne basa na as much as say COVID-19 no another e-levy no dey say be pass no eno pe ne solutions say ampa e kire ba bi ene oman ye gina e kire ba bi ene oman ye gina ye kire say net say 6.9 billion bet ma solve problems in there and net is oman no over the past 5 years no sika be ye nyen saka de be ye normal ye NBC say ye de COVID e-levy funds ne be na nka ene ka Ghana ke be ni South Africa edi pempenso ebia na ke wo terminal 3 airport same structure be 10 Ghana and ke wo University of Ghana Medical Center ke yo be 15 and 16 all the 16 regions as about we be 10 community opposite be wa nyini nyina no wontimi see one polyclinic mpo about we be fa community sika be wa nyina no wontimi see one market mpo about we be fa community sika be wa wontimi see just compound ba kumpo Oka was free SHS. Oka the road minister said, "Omo ya kwai more than 4,000 kilometers." akwan na bi wɔ he akwan no ɛwɔ he for one kyerɛ baby a akwan na 4,000 kilometers one kyerɛ and throw no mudi abu man no and throw ni sensationalism and mudi bu man no so and wakata o man no proye no so na mudi ye fa kata so akata ni no na obi a obonti no hu Ghana o fi Ghana efe but en ne Ghana obi mi say emu no Ghana no pro ye sika sama to apel the o man through
petrol ye better see
many aba mamisima ba akopem sere wa mamisima ba akopem so o man edrum pempenso a obe eye the days of betima trade me for car me ba na kire so o man be o madu no be o madu no ye be o madu a there's no return edu o madu the point of no return na misuma aban NDC aban and say misuma NDC party no say 2025 January they have a pakunya na e be ye say we bu o man no e be ye di be NDC say we bu o man because vehicles like tax vehicles and as a revenue vehicles and as streams like a sika made a go man on brand and about we are collateralizing those vehicles in na into your back I see a side taxes for back na NDC for any for that say when I'm opposition I'm taxes in every one taxes ba o mon kasa so nim say ade na ka we man sika no o dey sad na ko say o what is sika di o what is sika di so what I say enti and na dey do no me ba Ghana for Nantia say yes company to nurses and I said about public sector workers a car a chase and no minor the doom penswa even scared beton so mbuyinya na the air yan say the air yan say me about the air yan say upon when you know no you were last week and an honorable candidate upon one kasa member of parliament about Bontebeka say a chief of staff from all Paris Emma no sika 120,000 Ghana cedis so onkonkoto ondo mo WhatsApp account ma ne ko twa de koye ono anka se secretary say was sign your sign charter private jet and it cost over $4,800 I say your bank go for WhatsApp from $4,800 per hour e bank go in free US e ma na meto aba 11 hours no now multiply 11 hours by $4,800 now we sika 120,000 abana sa de man na all the buy sika no mu a more than 1 million Ghana cedis and ya tam de ama address of nkwam meanwhile they say o me pass bill a e be me 6.9 billion Ghana cedis say Ghana your mind is serious Ghana your mind constitutionalism adwuma and katama honorable Canada form I'm making a statement, you know, and Katata man also and I said president, you know, as a chief of staff. And special prosecutor and follow or follow up. No, it's assembly one. But not prosecutor what that because and now when you governor appointee. So Kasapi Abana Ebene for another president in into what that. Many about the Ecoso or Manuno. Upon say I want to and I buy I buy upon this president and I say they do not thing. I was here I was very cautious with our spending. But profligacy and I sika say lavish spending and no man empata efficiency our bontina baway and then upon this the edruno many about adding and me Ghana ni so do Ghana when you buy in a bad affect here, and you buy on to no money. Said a bear, you look some way. Now, you look at for campo and bed, a bassa, and my inflation cost and my much about man, many about. That's it.
Yo, yes, so yeah, that's it. If fact comments, not yet also. NDC diaspora said they pulled down La Polyclinic and now the land is bushy. You. Champion page, I don't agree with you, Master. I may say, One Ura Bennett and Kasa. Patricia Jire or say, Bennett, when you speak the truth, they will say you are speaking for NDC. I'm neither speaking for NPP nor NDC. Truth is truth. Yo, yeah, that's it. Madam Patience, that console said today the fire is light. Both guests are on fire and a bit angry. And then the Ojani day. But Shajiri was say NDC time our ministers were not misbehaving in parliament, but now they snatch ballot boxes and sit on each other's laps. What a disgrace from our ministers to be seen doing that. You may just or the MPs in some APA parliament and Mmre Etrim. Yo, yebe call na akwakoto aso. Ore makata pacha wo ho.
Wahanum pa.
Oh, my closing submission na Mmre no S1 no pacha wo 5 minutes.
Me dasi bebre. Me boni tell. Na minua Bennett. No kwasem ne say. Say I would plead with you, say. And somebody be wa o kan to boase neka because o kan na o kan is ya na said you miss respect you no afraid. So to meet na program way so say NPP abamba won see market ba kumpo onye kwan ba kumpo on see chips compound ba kumpo Minua Bennett. How can you say this? You see, we want to propagate our parties, but please, let's be truthful. And I'm proving you wrong. Minua Edifa. Or say, NPP for see chips compound ba kumpo. So, me body anchira ubetimi ahwehwe. Or say, adan krebi ewo Ekuapem South. Now, Mamin can say, as it stands now, 1,600 chip compounds NISC since NPP came into power.
1,600.
1,600. And I'm coming. I'm not just construction of 1,600 new chip compounds across the country. I'm saying that is what is being done. And Mabobia Yevie Achrew President Yire Echo inaugurate ye. And no Mibo Biachrew no. Oko eye Bron Hafwa. You will grow be a friend say Kobediaso. I will bring a half. What you say? It is a minia Bennett Betnahanum say Bakumpo. And emphasis on that Bakumpo. He said say Bakumpo, chip compa Bakumpo, Yensibi. And then mo yesa. Why do you people do that? It's just unfortunate for me to hear this from Miankasami brother. And was he a new kind Bakumpo? Meanwhile, your friend is saying and crying, sir, your friend is saying fly over na ya wo no anase overhead no sabe eno emfoni anase enua na ya hyehyesi ho eno na enya kwan ni bia ukotamale your friend is interchange ayeye no eno enya kwan ni bia go to Doma Hinkro under your watch. How was the situation? Go to Brekum. How was the situation? Miankasa Mikrum Asanti Jabin. Go to Jabin and see town roads are also. Go to Kumasi. Why do you come and sit on such a national platform and lie? How can you say that, Minua Bennett? Say kwamba kukra munyebi. Ya mamu miyenyesa. It's very bad. Say you have every right to say but don't come and say bakukra munyebi. And when you say that, it hurts me. And I mean your banekas as an idea before yes, before but and some Minua can and no. The question they say he's not trying to be truthful. And it hurts me. The way I respect him, no, I don't expect say Obeka and Samsa. Mamu mayendi ebinumwechi say what to say ebia will communicate a bia tenase and a hospital bakukra munsibi and so COVID by hospital baku we see in CB no. Oko across COVID center na you see and no sabi dien. I then amumi as Omaima. Let's be truthful. I'm not saying NPP by a solve Ghana problem now. We have not solved the problem, and we still admit. And don't let us behave say as a Rome could be built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Senka yetimi dako solve ɔman problem and mfie num solve ɔman problems na
Ora makasa 1 minute.
me pacho me dase
Mm.
enka 27 years na munya ya mudi di Ghana so no enka mo solve Ghana problems na iti me nua kradu mo ma yenka no kre ema ye ho entina ba bia anka se chief compound ba kokura mu si bida me mpese meti sa asem na free wanu bio me mpese meti bi every wanu bio enka se enye kwan ba kokura me mpese meti every wanu bio because eye interchange ayeye no enkran no NDC for fa so bi interchange ayeye ni tamale no NDC for fa so bi doma kwan ayeye eda honom a car nam so yiridi NDC for nyina na fa so nti metena anka se MPP ba ye enye kwan ba kokura identity and there are pictorial evidences. It mean about Mr. Mame wrap up na yanko. Me pese me can we na me de chere yenuanom Ghana for say. The NPP government, we have Ghanaians at heart. Yes, delays are there, which is admitted. But the truth of the matter is say abino airborne homodin. Say obeboa say sa problems when na ebe solve it. You know, Ghanaian people should be patient with this government and know say the president Akufo-Addo kan no or say nipa die wu a ye nim kwan a ye de ne be bankom na mum economy ni de esaya we know how to rebuild and that is what we are doing and we will do that and me say 2024 Mmre no Ghana fo be hu adwuma a eye NPP abo eno ni huhu a NDC for person omo ye duabro ni si eye 11 kwan because they know say NPP nya sesi kana dwuma ye de be bono 2024 nru no omo aka so omo gina ho omo to besa eno ti na omo person omo ye
that say Bora Makasa that
say will come to pass me that say
that say ora kwene du pacha one closing statements
me that say na minia MacArthur and de ejana so de na hwefo kana ejana so na minia ba onim context is very important in any discourse. Context is very, very important. I never said omunyi kwam 1 kilometer mpo. They may kind say road ministry so mo ya kwan over 4,000 kilometers into Oma metres happen be. There's a clear distinction between omunyi kwan say into metre any omunyi kwan. There's a clear distinction. Into minia MacArthur ehono Mr. Anna what I say or what they are me. And I say COVID but almost COVID center center bintuno minia MacArthur aya onim a higher public platform and so we try to be very decorous because I'm sure say COVID treatment center is not the same as a hospital or clinic and yet the same COVID treatment center a emergency facility yes yeah they treat COVID. And it is not a hospital, neither is it a polyclinic or a clinic. So you must get the distinction clear. And many other, me fa and ensure. Now, me conclude, Now, me chair, many of them are citizens Sawa and NDC diaspora. Me chair, citizen Sawa, on Professor Joshua Alabi, personal assistant, me chair, and then you know, or show Gusua or Shay, me chair, many of them. Na maka se empempenso a yadru menu aba bebe yadru ne ade a yadru akono yadru ba bia ene the Ghana for Ghana dwuma for the beto nso anu mpo ayedin ene ohwe ba bia crude price akakudru na hwe ba bia enoma bo akakudru ohwe ba bia transport price akakudru na se wo ya ban dwuma ni na wa ya dwuma abosom na se ne ntua wo ka menu aba ade a ebe ya hometi papa and the most painful thing is that there is no correlation between inflation and salary increment. There's no correlation. Inflation keeps going up, prices keep changing, but salaries are stagnant. And inflation and that's a normal boss is could do so be I could do so but and in spite of that a business was not going to be we tell you about so many abandon first can to account to na abo bo se ma sika bu kwa sanada enti bebe yaduru ayade a yaduru akono yaduru ba bia ɛwɔ sɛ Ghana fo nyinaa anka menya anka maka sɛ ka e-levy anyuntum because yaduru ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde tum na ka yɛde save ɔman no but abawe ɛwɔ sɛ abawe ku bi kyerɛ Ghana fo sɛ indeed so onya sika ɔbɛya de papa because yaduru no menya ba de yaduru no sɛ COVID ama say as much as yɛmpɛ sɛ yɛbɛgye atom no ɛka mɛ sɛ COVID ɛne yɛ lifeline COVID I mean e-levy ɛne yɛ lifeline say e-levy ama yɛwu but yɛde e-levy ba ama nkɔfoɔ asagye sika ahyɛ motom anaasɛ den because yɛhu over the years no yɛhu sɛ sika bɛbɛ biara no ɛnɛ kenoforiata ne data bank ana proud to 2016 na yɛ insolvent bank an ɔkɔkɔgye busan bi UT bank and the UT bank agu ama ne data bank yɛka private bank a ɔmo yɛ highly solvent a ɛyɛ data bank after all of a sudden wɔtumi ama so much wealth for the bank, you know. And on our transaction advisor say aban no kɔgye busan ba bia ɔho within agyinamu anaasɛ otu aban no for ho na ɔtwa ho si ho and then the bank yɛka private bank wɔ sika pa Ghana a data bank, and in spite of that no Ghana ɛho kyerɛ yɛn ama individuals did that and yɛka aristocratic regime na ebi mu aka sɛ Kufuor abana akɔyɛ aban a akɔyɛ noble man for na ebu ɔman no ɛne na ɛkɔ so no ɛne elite no ɔmo tɔ wɔn timamufoɔ no wɔkyerɛ wɔn to the point sɛ timamuni na ɔyɛ aban adwuma 1,000 cities na ɛfɔ ma na ɔfa mi nkotwa na ba school fees nimpo sika ne ntimi ma but individuals are ɔmo ne aban ne nante ɔmo ne aban ne didi bɔ mu ɔmo bɔtɔ mu ayɛ ma ɛkyerɛ wɔ sɛ ɛne baabi a yɛdu no Professor Tuguba asɛm a ɔka yɛ sɛ baabi a yɛdu no yɛahwɛ Yaku bɛba
Mmre no aso ewie yɛbɛda
medase
yo Mmre no aso ende dwumadie no nso yɛde ba ewie meda panelists na ase meda producer ase ɛna mo a mo hwɛ yɛn ɛde mo comment ɛne mo suggestion eba yina meda na ase
Mini ediba.
na what you said yes Robakata
Me throw betimi ama me just 1 minute. When the minute so upon. But just 1 minute.
Oh 1 minute.
Yo. Mini akunadu. Me pato. What does the COVID center do?
Emergency treatment center.
But what does it do? What does it do?
COVID treatment center. Emergency COVID treatment center. A health facility. But it no.
But you know, you and I know that you can't help facilities are there were differences, don't we?
Yeah, we
can't help facilities are we have differences. You and I know. So don't tell me, say I don't know, say health facilities here were differences. I know, but I'm telling you, say what is the purpose? What is the purpose of the center?
Abanako tent bi. Eden pass sim say so na COVID abraham mo a makeshift facility. A health facility. After COVID no. I just say
after COVID no, it doesn't do anything again. Are you saying that after COVID, no, you're useless? Is that what you are saying?
No, what I'm saying is some facility no. Now emergency health facility. And that facility a bit last for years. Unless after COVID.
It lasted for what years? Who's the any facility a bit lasting for years? Please.
What do you want facility? What do you want facility? A makeshift facility. A makeshift facility. And facility. I just say after COVID. Now by yourself after the so or the corner, you never be a fully fledged hospital. Another clinic. You want to see you? Can we be South Africa? You see me any hospital, any clinic, a emergency COVID treatment center.
And I'm saying a health facility, isn't it?
So they are fine.
A health facility, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course a health facility, but that does not make it a hospital. It doesn't make it a hospital.
The fact is that a health facility solves health problems.
Yes.
Isn't
it?
A
health facility. A health facility.
Don't make it like I don't know what a a hospital and a polyclinic is. I know that there are
No.
differences.
You see?
There are differences in health facilities. I know what a polyclinic is. I know what hospital is. Okay, all the differences are there. But I'm saying, this is a facility, a buy, government, within that period, and they solve these specific problems.
How long? How long did it take the government? No, how long did it take the government to build that facility? How long?
It was less than a year. It was less, I think it was 5 months or so.
Better producers to say, or so I say. A better inner word of God construction company as say almost so as so I say did you mediate every year. Now what you send there, you ever say share be with the munina.
Day before this honor, no weapon formed against I shall prosper. The wicked and his work shall go down in disaster. Day before this honor, no weapon formed against I shall prosper. I'm anointed and appointed to walk as a winner. This is your still King Malachi from out of Jamaica, representing for Guyana News TV, the web TV for the best programs. We broadcast via satellite and also on all social media platforms. We do developmental news, social program, employment, entertainment, and educative politics. Today before this honor, no weapon formed against I shall prosper. We are anointed and appointed to walk as a winner. Whoa.